What's going on, everyone? Today we are taking a look at a new portable Bluetooth speaker. This is the TRIBIT PocketGo. If you aren't familiar with TRIBIT, definitely look into them as they're hands down one of the best Bluetooth speaker brands out there. Over the years, I've purchased quite a few speakers from this company, and one of my all-time favorite speakers is still the Stormbox Blast. Overall, just very good sounding speakers that also come at great prices as well. So taking a look at the speaker itself, this is a portable pocket-sized speaker, so you can take this anywhere. It's very small and lightweight. You can throw it in your bag, carry it in your pocket, and you're barely going to notice it's there. It only weighs 220 grams or 0.48 pounds. As a reference, the Samsung S25 Ultra cell phone weighs 218 grams. So this pretty much weighs the same thing as a regular cell phone. Like I said, you can carry it in your pocket and you're barely going to notice it's there. As a comparison, here it is next to the original Stormbox Micro. This one weighs 280 grams versus 220 grams here. It may not sound like a lot, but when you're carrying these, there's definitely a substantial lighter weight with this one. And this is also IP68 dust and waterproof, and it also floats on water as well. So you can use this pretty much anywhere, whether using it in the house, taking it outside, going to the pool. No matter where you're going, you're going to be able to take the speaker without having to worry about it getting damaged or anything like that. And as you can see, the speaker is right here on the front. So when you use it on the water, it'll be floating with the speaker firing upward instead of a lot of other speakers where the sound is somewhat inside the water. So if you're using this in a pool, you are going to get clear audio coming out the top. And then coming right here at the bottom, you do have 4 little feet, so you can stand it up like that. But then back here, you also have 4 more feet, so you can also lay it down if you want to as well. So coming up to the top, you have this little loop here, so you can carry it just like that, or even clip it onto your keys or purse to make it easier to carry and not have to physically hold it with your hands. And up here, you have your power button, Bluetooth button, volume up and down, also track forward and back. And then right here in the middle, you have your play and pause button. Very similar to the layout on any other TRIBIT speaker. And then flipping open this huge tab here, you have a USB-C charging port. And then you even have a micro SD port as well, which is not something you see on any small speaker of this size. So if you're out camping or wherever you might be, you don't even need to take your phone. You can just load up an SD card with some songs and listen to music, all just using the speaker alone by itself. As far as build quality goes, definitely a solid little speaker. It feels very rugged and well made. Like I said, it is lightweight, but it feels very solid. Nothing feels cheap or anything like that. This is the second one I own, as I own 2 of these, but I have another Micro Original that I use on my e-bike, and that one has literally flown off on the road going about 20 miles per hour. It literally tumbled and falled. The top cover popped off, but surprisingly, when I retrieved it, I just popped the cover back on, and it's still working. That was over 3 years ago. Still hasn't had any issues despite that large fall. So when it comes to quality, I can definitely vouch that TRIBIT speakers are well made. All right, so for the speaker itself, this has a 7-watt output, and here in the middle, it has a 45mm full range driver, which is 1.77 inches, and then you also have a passive radiator here as well. I'll throw a diagram up on the screen so you can see what this looks like behind the cover. And this also has Bluetooth 6.0, which is going to give you better range, battery life, and quality compared to older Bluetooth versions. According to the specs, this also has up to 164 feet of range, so you can be all across the field and you're still going to be able to get a stable connection. That is direct line of sight, so if you're in a house with walls and doors, that range will get cut down a little bit. But overall, you are going to get the best range possible thanks to that Bluetooth 6.0. When it comes to battery life, this has a 2,400 milliamp battery, which gives you up to 20 hours of playtime if you're listening at 50% volume. Definitely a long time for a little speaker like this. Even if you're playing it at 100%, you're probably going to get about 10 to 12 hours, which is more than enough for a full day of listening. And then, like I said earlier, it does charge with USB-C. So if you're on the go and you need more power, you can just hook up a power bank to double, if not more, your battery life as well. When it comes to small speakers, the Micro 1 and 2 are some of my favorite small speakers, as despite being small, they put out more than enough volume and they put out more bass than you would expect from a speaker of this size. I haven't heard this one yet, but we'll go ahead and hear it on camera together, and I'll let you know what I think compared to the Micro 1 and 2 and as a small Bluetooth speaker in general. All right, so here's the speaker at about 80%. All right, so first and foremost, I want to say small speakers have definitely come a long way in recent years. I remember before when you bought a small speaker like this, it would sound absolutely tinny, not enjoyable at all, no bass, no treble, just very generic sounding, almost like a speaker in a Pringles can. But this is a surprisingly full sounding speaker. Again, it's very small and lightweight, only 7 watts, so it's not going to put out booming bass or anything like that. But for a small on-the-go speaker, I am definitely 100% happy with it. At 80 to 100% volume, this is actually too much volume to hold a conversation over it. So if you're using this as an outdoor speaker, maybe at about 30 to 50% is going to be a good volume. Beyond that, you're not going to be able to hear each other talk over the speaker, as it does have quite a bit of output. At higher volumes, the bass does get washed out a little bit. At about 40 to 60% volume, it definitely puts out a good amount of bass. Again, very small speaker, but given its small size, it definitely packs a punch and a lot more bass and fullness than I expected. Compared to the Micro or Micro 2, it's a similar sound signature, but the Micro definitely has more bass, but it does have a larger size and more weight as well. So it's a bit of a trade-off. And then the Micro also costs more, but for a very affordable and small portable speaker, definitely 100% happy with this one. I'm not going to have any complaints taking this on the go and throwing it on. Doesn't ruin the music, still keeps everything very enjoyable. So when it comes to smaller or larger speakers, definitely a very good brand that's pretty consistent with all of their offerings. I almost forgot to mention, this does have TWS wireless mode as well. So if you wanted to buy 2 of them, you can link them together to get a wider soundstage and more volume output as well. And last but not least, despite being a small Bluetooth speaker, you do get app connectivity as well. So right here on the main page, you have your media controls. So you don't have to actually go over to the speaker. You can stay where you are and adjust it right here. Then you also have your volume up and down right here on top. Besides that, you do get custom EQ settings. So if you're not happy with how this sounds out of the box, you can go ahead and choose from a whole bunch of different presets here. And besides the built-in presets, you can also make your own. And you can make more than one right here as well. So if you want one with more bass, less bass, more treble, you can make a few different presets. And as you can see here, you do get a full multi-band EQ. So you can go ahead and fine-tune everything and get the speaker sounding just how you prefer. So definitely a big fan of that versus a lot of other speakers where you're stuck with the sound signature that they give you. Overall, this is definitely a solid speaker. It sounds good. It has a good amount of bass and volume. And best of all, it's also very affordable as well. So all in all, if you happen to be shopping for a compact Bluetooth speaker, I would highly, highly recommend this one here, which again is the TRIBIT PocketGo. If you would like to purchase or get more information, I'll also have the link in the description as well. All right, well, that wraps up this video. As usual, if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop me a comment and let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.